Alright, y'all, it's your boy Kid Stain back with another video, and by the title, you're probably looking at this, and yeah, we're talking about Xenoverse 2 today, the game that has literally been around for a decade and just refuses to die. And yeah, so I'm not even gonna waste any more time, so let's just get right on into the video. And yeah, pretty much, Xenoverse 2 released in I think like 2017. It was a follow-up to Xenoverse 1. And it actually is like a pretty true sequel. Like, it expands on everything that the first game like didn't really do. Not really in the story though, because like the story starts when you're about 80% complete with the, the Dragon Ball Z story, and then you get Xenoverse's 2 story, which is absolutely bullshit. But we're not really gonna talk about that. And as I said earlier, this game has been around for about 10 years now. But yeah, let's go ahead and start talking about the game now. Alright, so when you first boot up the game, you're greeted with Trunks asking you about the time patroller, if you want to be a time patrolling, and then you are instantly, blasted with this ridiculous startup music. Okay, so after this, you essentially create your character, the Frieza race, which is very fast and has high ki attack. The Namekians, like that, the Earthlings, with their strengths and weaknesses. Everything is listed at the bottom, their strengths and weaknesses, like that. The Saiyans are overpowered. The top 3 races in this game are the, I'll just say it, the top 3 characters in this game to choose from. I'm just going to say both of the Saiyans is one, because they're just that fucking overpowered. The Saiyans, the Friezas, and the female Majin. I'll just say it right there. That's probably the top 3 races that you should choose from in this game. Yeah. This game has some, very decent customization options. I mean, this game hasn't had any, like, customization options, like, added on in, like, the last couple of years. So, it's a bit lackluster sometimes. I mean, they've added like a bunch of wigs and everything like that in the game. They could have very honestly just added that as a hairstyle, and then people probably, I mean, people don't complain now, but that's just a little personal gripe that I have. I decided to go with the female Saiyan because I don't think I've ever played with I don't think I've ever beat the game with a female Saiyan. I've only beaten the game with a male Saiyan. So I'm just going back through the game, playing it to get, research for this video. Because it has been a very long time since I played this game. After you make your character, you can give them a voice and a name. I decided to call mine Mint, as to keep, the names being food or whatever I can find around the house, like Akira Toriyama would. And yeah, I decided to start up the game as a female Saiyan, and each race has their own unique startup, I guess, when you first start as them. The Namekian will start off, I believe, at Guru's house. The Earthling will start off at Capsule Corp. No, not Capsule Corp. They'll start off at Mr. Satan's house. The Saiyans will start off at Capsule Corp. The Majins will start off at Majin Buu's house. And the Friezas will start off at Frieza's spaceship. I got the Saiyan one where they start off at Capsule Corp. I'll be showing that. And then you basically get your introduction to the game when you're called to Kanton City, so you can start the tutorial. Once you arrive in Kanton City, you see just how big this map has gotten since Toki Toki City, which really sells home the point that this game just really does expand on what Xenoverse 1 did in a really good way, and I can't commend the game for that. But after you're pretty much done like scouting out the city, you end up talking to the Supreme Kai of Time, and she essentially tells you, the tutorial. She teaches you the controls and everything like that. I'm gonna skip that because I know that's not why you're here. And yeah, after this, you start your first time patrol. One thing that I would like to mention is I didn't play this game like your traditional level 1 would. I essentially, when you play this game one time, all of your characters essentially share an inventory and all of the moves that you got. So if you did everything in one playthrough, or you got everything in one playthrough, you'll have it on another character, which is really nice. that's what I did. Why I have like some moves and stuff like this, like that. And also, there's this character named Tosok, and Tosok is essentially a way of leveling up if you just don't want to play the game. Now, this game is very grindy, I will admit, and they added this guy because I'm pretty sure they knew that as well. And essentially, you can go up to this guy and buy levels if you just don't want to grind, which is very cheap. But then it's not, because there's a super soul in the game that gives you like 3 times the zenny. But if you're a low level, you can literally just grind out the Goku expert mission with the ×3 score gained, and you can literally just jump like 40 levels in one play. So yeah, that's what I did, which is why I'm a bit overpowered when you like see me playing. And of course, in this game, you start off your first time patrol in the Saiyan Saga. Yeah, this game is the usual formula of the Dragon Ball Z games. I'm just telling the same fucking story over and over and over again. Honestly, I don't know how it's still working at this point. It's the greatest mystery in mankind that this formula still works several years later, and it's gonna continue to work until somebody stops this shit. But yeah, man, you go through the Saiyan Saga. You essentially end up, fighting Raditz, fighting Vegeta, fighting Nappa. But the twist in this game is that since you're a time patroller and you're protecting time, there are like big bads in this game that will alter the timeline. So it's a bit of a unique battle when you face these guys, because in the Saiyan Saga, you have to get involved because Raditz just flat out avoids the special beam cannon that kills him in the original timeline. And after this mission, you're kind of forced to go through the parallel quest, which is essentially how you unlock outfits and moves that you can't learn from trainers and things like that. I'll get into the mentors and the trainers later on, but yeah, you're kind of forced to take on this first parallel quest so you can get the gripe of the controls to make sure that you have them. I'm not gonna lie, there are some controls that they don't teach you. But that's when you learn them on YouTube and stuff like that. But yeah, after the parallel quest, you pretty much go back to the Saiyan Saga where you fight Vegeta and Nappa. And during the Vegeta and Nappa fight, Vegeta and Nappa turn into a great ape, and you have to help Goku fight off both of them, which are like welcome changes. But honestly, for me, the game really starts to like slow down after the Saiyan Saga, because after this saga, boy oh boy, this story just it kind of just peaks here and it just stays stagnant all the way through. So in the Frieza Saga, you basically just end up doing everything like normally until I think Trunks goes to stop Ginyu, but Ginyu ends up stealing his body. What? Like on it, Trunks yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. Trunks ends up getting his body stolen, and you have to fight off Trunks, well, Ginyu really, to get Trunks his body back. And Trunks jumps back in front of it when he tries to switch with Goku, and then Ginyu's back in his body, and then you allow him to switch with Goku. So now you have to beat up Goku, and it's just a whole lot of switching. It gets to the point where your character almost gets body swapped, and Goku uses this opportunity to get back into his body, and then Ginyu tries to body swap with you again, but Goku ends up saving you by throwing a frog in the way and essentially returning things to how they were in the original timeline. I forgot to mention it before, but Turles and Lord Slug are pivotal like bad guys in the story. Besides, I'm not gonna mention the other two yet because they really haven't appeared. I mean, I'll just mention their names. The other, there's 4 of them: Lord Slug, Turles, Mira, and Towa. And essentially, Lord Slug and Turles want to like work together to end up overthrowing Towa and Mira, but that shit backfired because Towa literally, anticipated them turning on her. So, now you have to fight both of them because I really don't know. I guess they would be a bigger threat than Mira and Towa, but you beat them? Maybe I'm not getting something about this story. But yeah, after you end up beating Slug and Turles, you end up helping the Z fighters who are fighting Frieza, and everything just goes normally because you're around. But the problem is with this is that Frieza is just a bit too overpowered, and he'll actually just kill them. But honestly, that I don't know, man. This story is like really confusing to me because it's like, even with like some of these changes that they've added, I guess you need to be around to weaken him up so Goku can actually beat him when he turns Super Saiyan. That's what I'm assuming. I just suck at interpreting this story. Also, I'm just gonna say it now. They make transforming like borderline like pointless in the story mode because it's so many cutscenes, and once you like get out of those cutscenes, your character just de-transforms, and it's like really annoying because every fight you have to transform, and then once the cutscene happens, you have to transform again. In Xenoverse 1, that wasn't an issue because I guess like when you transform, the game would glitch and kind of allow you to keep your transformation through the cutscene. I don't know why they didn't keep that, because that's like just, I don't know, because even in the gameplay that you're seeing now, I got de-transformed for no reason. Like, why couldn't that have been like a permanent glitch? Like that's actually better for the game, honestly. But yeah, let me get back on topic. After you essentially end up weakening up Frieza, he just gets mad and he just starts, picking off the Z fighters, which ultimately leads to the iconic scene of Goku turning Super Saiyan. And yeah, after Goku turns Super Saiyan, what you're essentially doing is you need to reduce his Frieza's health to a certain amount. Again, you need to help Goku because I believe even though Goku can beat Frieza, it's gonna be very, very difficult. Like unlike in the anime, I assume. But yeah, after you get Frieza's HP to a certain amount, Frieza does his usual thing of just destroying Namek, where it only has like 5 minutes to, before it just literally explodes. But there's a twist here, because instead of it just being Frieza, you, and Goku, they pop out their favorite character, Cooler. Now, I can speak on this personally. This quest right here, this Time Patrol quest, had to be one of the most difficult quests in the game for me. Like, when I was playing normally, because Frieza and Cooler do not play around. Like, they will jump the dog shit out of you. Like, and Cooler is just very difficult to fight for some reason. Like, I don't know why this fight is like so difficult. Like, but it is hard, man. Like, I guess they were trying to, portray it like, they were serious. And Jesus, they did. But after you end up beating Cooler, Cooler ends up falling into the giant molten planet crater that Frieza caused. And yeah, essentially your character just leaves because now everything should go back to the original timeline, I guess. And yeah, also after this mission, you get your flying license. Now, once you get your flying license in this game, you can reach areas that you usually couldn't to get to like mentors and things like that. And now I'm gonna bring up mentors. Mentors in this game are a way of essentially getting you moves and ultimate attacks that you can't get from any other means. The mentors will also like comment on how well you've done in a mission. Like if you get a Z rank, you get the best of their appraisals. If you do like bad, they will let you know. Depending on which mentor you get like various like different quotes and everything like that. based on like the mission stuff. But yeah, I didn't really utilize the mentor, system in this playthrough because I've already like played through the game and I've done like all the mentors. So yeah, returning back to the time vault, we start my favorite arc in the Xenoverse 2 story, the future Gohan arc. First off, you get this like after you've beaten the Cell Saga, and essentially what happens is Mira ends up sending Android 16 in a timeline where he just did not exist, and he's essentially just trying to kill Gohan so that Trunks doesn't have, that potential Super Saiyan awakening. But honestly, these guys are kind of dumb because at any point in the story, they could have just killed Vegeta and the game would have been over with. I don't know why they just persist on trying to kill, Trunks and Goku. But honestly, if we're being honest, no, Krillin killed Vegeta back in the Saiyan saga. Everybody dies because Trunks doesn't show up to warn them about the androids, and Goku dies of the heart virus. Trunks just does not exist, and the androids literally just take over. It's that easy. How can you mess that up and you're supposed to be the villain? But aside from that, yeah, while you're here, Trunks ends up showing up when he really shouldn't, because Gohan does not need to be seeing Trunks like that, because that can cause, I don't know, it can cause some kind of, irreparable damage to that timeline or whatnot. But yeah, Trunks ends up showing up, and Trunks just flat out is on the brink of just deciding on going with Gohan and just stopping him from dying to the androids. But Gohan just ends up telling him not to, because even though the timeline is grim, he still ended up becoming a Super Saiyan, and Gohan dying was essentially for the greater good. So Trunks ends up not doing that. And yeah, this arc is just like one of my favorites because it is so good, man. And it's just so sad that the arc after this it's not that good. And on to the Cell Saga, where this game kind of just, okay, so in this section, you pretty much help Piccolo fight off the androids, and I'm just gonna skip a little bit because I really don't like this arc. So I'm only gonna bring up the important parts. In this arc, you fight Mira, and you end up buying time for him, as he had already concocted a plan to make Cell, stronger than what he was supposed to be, in order to beat the Z fighters and Gohan. But what the fuck? What is their plan? Obviously, this is not working. Why do they keep doing this over and over and over again? I want to know what do you gain from this? Like, clearly it's not working, but clearly you won't stop. So that's so stupid to me. Like, how stupid are these villains? Like, this arc really made me realize, like, these people are kind of stupid. And afterwards, after they end up tampering with stuff, they make the Cell Junior stronger and Cell stronger. They bring back your favorite character. They bring back Cooler. They bring back like 30 of them or something like that. And you have to hold them off until Trunks can destroy the Big Getty Star, because this arc, it has too much going on for me, and it misses the mark completely. And yeah, that's, Gohan ends up finishing off Cell as per usual, but this arc just does too much for me, and it's not it. After the Cell Saga, the game actually takes you through a tutorial of something they call expert missions, where they give these enemies some very broken abilities, and they want you to beat them for coins and for TP medals and experience. In this game, Zenny, which are coins, and TP medals, are essentially used to buy like outfits and skills and stuff like that. They operate the same way, but TP medals will get you more exclusive clothing or more exclusive skills. But yeah, these expert missions are really just, I don't know, they're a way to, explain another mechanic in the game. And now on to another lackluster saga in the game, the Buu Saga. You first start off with the with Gotenks fighting Super Buu, and then that turns into I'm just gonna skip to the good parts. I hate to say it. I really can't enjoy the story of this game because the story really just starts like 90%. It really starts after the Boo Saga, sadly. Like the original story of this game starts after the Boo Saga. But yeah. During this arc, you end up helping out Majin Vegeta because they made Broly show up. You end up helping out Gohan because, you know, somebody was too strong or somebody who wasn't supposed to be there showed up. You see where the running theme is with this game, man. And I really hate to be this way on Dragon Ball Z because I really like it, which is why I'm going hard on it because there's a better way to do this. Like they could have made the original story a lot better. I don't know what they were doing, honestly. I'm gonna go to the last portion. After all of this, you help Goku end up, charging up and shooting off the spirit bomb at Kid Buu. And after you do that, Trunks essentially tells you that Bardock is there and that you need to find him. And since the game did not let me record any of that because all this comes off the PS5's capture system, here are some screenshots of everything that happened after the Buu Saga. But yeah, man, that is essentially gonna be that's pretty much the video right here. But I'm gonna make a couple of comments about the end of the game and everything like that. It's a damn shame that this game started like at the last 10% of the story. Like the real story of this game is only 10% of it, and it's crazy. Also, Mira during that final boss battle, Fuse Mira is literally a coward. Like he will spam the rage saucer on you. Like he will spam it religiously just to like get you out of there, and it's just so annoying. Like I can understand how that fight is like a bit annoying because I think they programmed him to just keep spamming. But other than that, man, this game is, we need to let this game die. Hopefully this game dies when Sparking Zero comes out. But this game is just a classic example of game developers just literally just not even game developers, gamers, the consumers just being content with something like this. Dog, we could have had a Xenoverse 3 by now if you guys just stopped playing this game. But yeah, man, this is just, this has been it for this video. It's been Kid Stain, and later.